Storm's coming. Hey there, Wolf. You've gotten big. So this is a problem. This trough right here is holding water. We've got a hole on that end, but for some reason this end didn't have a hole in it, so I need to drill this out. Much better. I think we'll go ahead and take this over to the other side of the fence, and then we'll get some minerals in here. So the reason why I had it over here was because we were doing the experimental intensive grazing with that one hot wire that went across that pasture over there that they ended up jumping. But since they have the entire pasture now, we're just going to put this trough right next to my driveway. That way, whenever I drive in, I can check that mineral and see if they still have good mineral or if I need to put more in. What's going on, guys? My name is Noah and this is Broken Arrow Bison. Look at that sky behind me. Crazy, really cool looking sky. They said that we were supposed to be getting possible 80-mile-an-hour winds this afternoon and evening. I don't think we're gonna get it. I think it's gonna either go to the north. It's kind of splitting off between the north and the south of us. So that would be good if it does. I don't think we should have any problems if we get that much wind. The bison will be okay. They are just awesome when it comes to storms and stuff like that. So they'll be all right. They don't mind the wet weather. But I'm battening down everything else in my yard, making sure all the chairs and stuff aren't gonna blow away. We've had 80-mile-an-hour wind out here before. We live out in southeast Kansas, and man, we get some crazy weather out here. So battening down everything, but I think we're good. But man, I'll tell you what, the sky is just absolutely beautiful. Everywhere you look, you got these white, really fluffy clouds over here that look pretty ominous from some of the other directions. And then you've got these ones up top, and even down in that area, you've got storms coming in that way. It's just surrounding us, and even over there, storms all over. You can see them down in the trees relaxing. It's a cool evening and they're just chilling. Tell you what, it's really nice out right now. It's overcast, cool temperatures, humid, but it's cool. And it's kind of just like the cliche, it's the calm before the storm. Like I said, I don't think we're gonna get it. I think it's gonna split to one side of us or the other, but man, whoever gets it, it's gonna be heavy hitting. Some of you guys ask me if they ever make bison wallers. There's one. Looks like Walking Coyote and the girls have been all over it. That used to be grassy area, so they've done a number on that, but it's not a bad thing. They tear up a little bit when it comes to that. Like, they'll kind of make a waller, but they don't really like tear up the whole field or anything like that. It's good for them. They get all that dust and everything on their coat. Helps keep the bugs off and the flies off. So I don't mind it. Looking at them all relaxing in the shade. It's funny. You will see them in the shade on a cool evening like this. I mean, it's like probably 65 degrees out here. Just really nice. They're all in the shade, and then this summer it'll be 95 or 100 degrees and they'll be in the middle of the field. Funny how they act. One of the things that they do is they'll brush up against the trees like that. Coyote will sit there and rub his horns on lower limbs, and they don't like tear it apart like a deer would, but they do rub on it, and they will kind of trample little trees down, and which is actually really good for the ground because it allows those little trees to kind of get snuffed out so that we can have more grass. So that's actually a really good thing these guys do. So the lower limbs, if you can kind of see in there, get kind of taken off, and so you end up getting these areas that have tree clumps, but then you'll have it's kind of ends up being like this little wooded glen. So then you end up having some grass grow under it. So this pasture is doing okay. They're honestly eating it down a little faster than what I want. And that's why I did that single hot wire strand. And so I'm probably gonna set something up again. I just gotta find the time, honestly. Been really busy. I've been doing some research on what I can change, either top wire, middle wire, bottom wire, ground, how high, different things like that. So once I can kind of, I feel like I get a grasp on it, then I'll go ahead and order some stuff, but I don't want to just start ordering stuff and just shooting at the moon. So I want to make sure that I've got a good idea of what I want to do and what will be able to control them. The other option that I can do is I can take and I can run separator fence just like I have on my exterior, which is a 6-strand 12.5 gauge high tensile. The drawbacks to that, and some of you guys have left comments saying, you know, why don't you just run real fence or strong fence in the middle, in the separator fence? Well, the drawbacks to that, if you can see, you have 6 strands here. These posts that hold that 12.5 gauge wire over in this corner are very labor intensive. They're very costly, and it's just a lot that goes into that. So if we can avoid putting those braces in every, you know, so many feet, because realistically I would love to get this separated out into 1 acre paddocks. We've got 60 acres here. I would love to get it down to 1 acre. That would allow me to move them every day, 1 acre, and then they wouldn't see that same spot for 60 days. That would be awesome. And then, you know, if I wanted to go every 2 days, they wouldn't see that pasture for every 4 months. So depending upon the grass you have. So that's one of the reasons why I really want to figure out this either temporary or semi-temporary, something that I can pull right off of those T-posts, and that's not going to have a whole lot of tension going across the field. Otherwise, when it has a whole lot of tension like this 12.5 gauge, I got to pull off of one of those posts, and that means I've got to get a lot more oil field pipe. I got to do a lot of welding, a lot of cutting, and I'll do it if that's what it comes down to, but just trying to see if we can figure this out before that's what we do. You know, these are the posts that we had that I tried to do on the temporary fence, and I got quite a few comments saying, you know, that's not a real fence post. Well, no, it's not designed to be an exterior fence post. It's designed to be an interior fence post that is just to separate from pasture to pasture. The one wire that's electric wire is not something that's going to control them other than just mentally. It really is a mental game with them. And so that's what I was really trying to do, is just to see if they would play the same game that cows do. Because this fence post right here, it's got 4 notches on it, and it steps in just like this. It's got this little short stepper, and it steps in. That will actually control cows. If you train cows to it, 1 wire hooked onto that is actually fine for cows. But so that's what my experimenting was doing with these bison. So that actually didn't work, like we found out. But we, I think I kind of figured out what needs to happen. It needs to be a little taller, and the wire needs to be in a little bit different spot. The problem with that is these temporary fence posts that you see, they don't sell those that I have found in a taller strand and then being able to put that wire in the same spot that I need to. I can get some fiberglass posts and I can drill them, but those don't really go into the ground, in and out of the ground very quickly. So it would be more of a permanent situation. If you've noticed, walking coyote over here has gotten a lot darker than when I first got him on the farm. He was a lot more blonde, and I think it has to do with some of the humidity in the air. It has been pretty wet the last couple weeks, and that's where I've really noticed his coloring change. But it really is kind of interesting to me. I'll see what he ends up looking like, and I'm wondering if he starts changing to the darker color, or if he goes back to that blonde this winter. So it'll be kind of interesting to see on him. I think he's putting on quite a bit amount of weight. He's looking really good. He's insane. He's not even a yearling yet. He's almost a yearling. He's losing a lot of his hair, and he's already even growing it back on the back end. You can see that new hair growth coming in already. I wonder if you can see that black feather over there. It looks like she got into some cedars. Her tail has sap all over it, and it's pinned to the side. They found the minerals. Strong winds eating them pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna figure out a way to separate this pasture out. It may be that I need to fence some other area this summer to get them a little bit more grass, and then working on dividing that pasture out. We'll see. But hear that thunder? It's coming. If you notice this, I'm on the other side of this fence, and I can get a whole lot closer to them than if I were out in the middle of the pasture. Not that I want to get closer if I'm in the pasture, but I can get a whole lot closer when I'm on the other side of this fence. It really shows you the mental barrier that they have. They think that they can't get on this side of it, and they think I can't get on this side of it. Hey girl. These two I got from Peter Cole are always really curious. They're a lot more friendly than the other ones. You might ask why we give them minerals. It's because that when you put them in a pasture like this, they don't have the sourcing that they would have had 100, 200 years ago. Whenever they roamed the plains, they would find the minerals that they needed. There's some stuff about like elephants, and elephants know like these certain caves and stuff they go to in order to find the right minerals. They can actually smell them. They know where to go to get them. But if you fence in an area like this, 6 acres, and put these animals out there, they might not have the minerals, either getting it from the ground, the grass, or being able to find the right rocks for it. So that's why we supplement the minerals with these guys. And there's a lot of salt in there too, and it helps their digestive system. Look at Blackfeather, the way she was walking. She's trying to get that tail down. It's stuck. That's actually pretty funny. I've never seen that happen before. Her tail is stuck and she was sitting there wagging her butt trying to get to it. She's trying to reach back with her face and she couldn't reach it with her tongue. It's stuck to the side. I think it's all sap. Oh, there she goes. She got it. She pulled it off on a branch. Looks like she's got some hedge or something like that attached to it too. This is a field we had the cows on last year, and we're letting it rest. We'll have the buffalo on it at some point. I just need to get it all fenced in. It's all barbed wire right now, 4-strand, and that's not gonna hold the buffalo. It needs to be at least 6-strand, and I prefer electric. So I'm gonna tear all the barbed wire down at some point and then get this all electrified and redo the posts and just beef it all up, make sure it's lifetime worthy. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you joining us, and like and subscribe to this channel if you've enjoyed what you saw. There is more content every week. We try to put out about 3 to 4 videos a week. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends if you've enjoyed it, and we will see you next time.